Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from, where am I? That's a good question. Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Oh, that's where I am? Excellent. So I'm in Hurricane Mills. I had no idea where I was going. I knew the exit I was going to, I just had no idea what the place was called. So I hope you've all had, oh God, my hair is a mess. Damn, that needs a wash. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, that's what happens when you put a hairband in your head all day while driving to keep the hair out of your face. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. How has your day been? Mine has been a very interesting day. So we're going to give you some of the fun things that happened today, some interesting tidbits from today. But first of all, we are going to look at your challenge recap for the day. So how did you do with that? How did you do with mapping your life roadmap? Did you figure out what things you want to do? Have you figured out what's stopping you? What you can do to get them going? Do they really need to be on their list, or is it just a wish list that it doesn't matter whether you do it or not? Or is it something that you should really like to do and now I'm making plans towards it? Then there was your business roadmap. Where do you want your business to go? How long do you want to keep your business? What do you want it to grow to before you sell it? So that was that one. And then, did you have fun with bubbles today? Playing with bubbles, blowing bubbles. How big were your bubbles? How long did they last? Did you have fun? I didn't get to blow bubbles today. No, we were driving. So we had a great start to the day. For some reason, I have got messages going like crazy on my phone. So if you see me going to reach in for my phone, it's because these messages keep popping up on my phone. So we actually got up early this morning and we left the campground before 8 o'clock, like about 3 to 5 minutes before 8 o'clock this morning. And then we drove the 1.5 miles back to the interstate, got on the interstate, went to the next exit, which was 2 miles down. And then once we got to that exit, we filled up with gas. I must have had the slowest gas pump in the entire complex, because normally to get 3/4 of a gallon to fill my tank was only a quarter full. So to put 3/4 to fill up the 3/4 that were missing normally takes about 15 to 20 minutes. This took 30 minutes for it to fill up. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And we finally got on the road. So we were at the gas station, for a little bit. We finally got on the road just after around 8:30, and we got to our new location here in Hurricane Mills. I'm going to figure out why it's called Hurricane Mills. Hopefully there's no hurricanes around here. Gonna have to figure that one out. Put that on my list. Hurricane Mills. How did it get named? Hurricane Mills. Okay. And we finally got here just after 2 o'clock. So we had a total driving time of 4 hours that we were actually on the road. We did stop about halfway. We stopped at the rest area where I did my Facebook Live from this morning. Got back on the road for another hour. I think it was an hour. Yeah. No, about 30 minutes. We're on the road for about 30 minutes, and then I realized that there was a Walmart coming up that was only half a mile off the road, and I figured I'm going to stop at that one because all the other ones were a bit further off the interstate. So I went to the Walmart, did the shop and all of that. It took me longer to check out than it did to shop. Came back, got everything put away and all of that, and then we hit the road again, and I figured, we've got a rest area coming up, so we'll stop at that rest area and have a break and all of that. Get to the rest area, it's closed. Like, there are cones across the road. You can't get into the rest area. I'm like, damn. But we were only like 27 miles away from the campsite. So we headed on and got here earlier, got all checked in, got escorted to our site. We were one of 13 check-ins left for the day. And so there was 12 coming in after me. And I would say most of those have now arrived. Zeffie's been up at the front window, and she can look down where she looks at the front window. It looks down on the road, that looks down over the road because we're up on a hill, where you come in to then get taken to your campsite. And so she's been up there, and every now and again she'll be like. So we got to the site, got everything. They put me a little forward on the site, and so when I got out and had a look around, I was tilting very badly towards the front, so I backed up like 2 or 3 feet and leveled off a lot easier, but I still have my leveling blocks underneath, and got it all leveled, got everything, took Zeffy outside. And once we got the levels down, we got the sides out, the engine off, we took Zeffy outside on her leash, hooked her onto the tow bar at the back. It's got 2 little welded on rings there that I can hook her leash to, while I got the power and the water all hooked up. I don't need to worry about sewer because we're only here till Thursday, and I only have to empty the tanks once a week. So unless I extend my stay through Monday, then yes, I'll have to empty my tanks while I'm here. But we're here till Thursday, and where I'm going after that, I don't know yet. Haven't decided. It's wherever I decide to go. So we got the power and the water hooked up, came inside, got everything set up inside, got her crate set up, got her toys out, and she's busy playing with her toys right now. I'm on a Facebook Live. What does she do when I'm on a Facebook Live? She plays. I'm going to show you this. Look at this. This is how my dog plays. And she will actually be in that position and push herself along the floor as well, especially on the vinyl. Hey, Zeffy girl, you want to say hello? Yeah, you just want to play? Okay, you go play. That's what she does. She throws her toys around and goes and pounces on them. And so once we had got the inside all set up and everything else, we then went over and checked out the dog park. We did a Facebook Live from the dog park. It is on Zeffy's Great Adventures, in Zeffy's Great Adventures group, so go check that out over there. It's got enough space for her to get up to speed. She eventually did start running. It took a while to get her running, but she did like 3 or 4 lengths of the park and went and stood by the gate by her leash. Like, I'm done. Let's go. So, but then she sleeps most of the time when we're driving. But I think for her, driving days are just as exhausting as they are for me as well. So we'll probably get a little more running out of her tomorrow when I take her over to the park. We'll just do a walk around the campground tonight, and then I'll take her to the park in the morning and let her run wild. We'll see how she does with that. But yesterday when we were at the other campground, we were out walking and we're on our way back. We took a different route back to our RV because I didn't feel like walking the outer rim where we normally walk. We went past this one RV and they've got these dogs in there that start barking and don't even stop once we're back in the RV. They keep going for like 10-15 minutes after we're out of sight. So we took a different route back to the thing, and we passed this woman who was sitting outside. She's probably in her 80s, I would guess, and she was just sitting outside having a one of those thin pencil type cigars, those really thin ones. And she goes, oh, she says, what type of dog is that? And I said, it's a mini German Shepherd. She said, I thought so. She said, I've heard of those. I've just never seen one before. So, of course, we stood there. We were talking to her for probably about an hour, hour and a half. And it turns out she loves to knit and crochet, although she now does a lot of crocheting because it's only the one hook that she has to use because she's not as coordinated as she used to be with the needles. But she makes a lot of beanies. And then when they're down in Florida, there's a campground. She stays in Florida for the winter. And across the road from the campground, there's a flea market there, and she goes over there and sells all of her beanies over there, and that becomes her yarn money for her to go buy more yarn to knit up more beanies and stuff. And she said she's got about 400 beanies already made, ready for when she goes back down to Florida later this year. And I thought, oh my gosh! And she will make up to 5. She'll make anywhere from 4 to 5 beanies a day. When she's crocheting, and she crochets them all. And so we got talking about that, but it was just really cool just to talk with somebody. She sat in her chair, we stood at the edge of her site, all social distancing and everything else. And so it was really cool to just connect with somebody else at a camp and things. And she's got this big vehicle. She has a tow trailer, and they've got she's got a pickup truck there that's undercover, but it's got the hard canopy on the back. In New Zealand, we call them utes. U-T-E, ute. Over here, it's just a pickup with a hard canopy. So she's got the hard canopy on the back. Because I was trying to figure out the shape of it, and when I walked around the front of it this morning, I realized, oh, it's a pickup with it's a ute. It's a pickup with a hard canopy on it. But it's a big thing. She's just this tiny, tiny little thing. But yes, it was good to talk with her last night. And then I said I had to go because I had to get the RV ready to go. But yeah, I was very proud of myself. We got out of there before 8 o'clock this morning. The number of times I've tried to leave a campground before 8, and it's usually been either 9 or 10. Most times 10. So I was really proud of myself. I got out of there. We got the shopping done. We got the gas. We did good. But on the way, you know how every now and again you just come across a sign, and it's sort of like, what did that say? And this one, we're driving on the I-40 and we came across one called Bucksnort, is one word, Bucksnort, Bucksnort. I was like, what the heck? There's got to be a story for that one. So apparently there is a story for this one, and there is the wrong history and the correct history. You never know what you're going to go. So I checked it out, and it's there's this website's called Offbeaten 10. So OFFBEATTENN. So Offbeaten Tennessee. Offbeat Tennessee is basically what it is. And they've got Bucksnort there. And it says the wrong, and this I loved the wrong history. The wrong history is, if you have heard any history of the Bucksnort community, is probably the story below, as it is often cited as story for the history of Bucksnort, Tennessee. However, it is not. It is the history of Mimosa in Tennessee. So there's actually Mimosa, Tennessee. I found that out reading this, in Lincoln County, which was also called Bucksnort prior to 1898. The town Bucksnort, which is the one I passed on the thing, got its name from William Buck Pamplin, a brother of Micajah, Armstead Paplin, my father's father. Before the Civil War, William owned and lived on the site that later became Bucksnort. It was like this. So this is the myth, if you wish. William loved whiskey. He would get so soused to the ears with the sweet, smelly stuff, and when he did, he would roar and snort till everyone around heard him. They would just say, just listen to Bucksnort. His snorting became so frequent, and the comment was made so often, that the neighbours soon found themselves running the last two words together. Thus the place was called Bucksnort. I love finding out place names, but this is the myth behind it. And then it's talking about post office and all of that sort of stuff, and since they owned the site, they decided to call it Bucksnort. But the actual history of the community never had a post office or a postmark. Is often described as the wrongly cited story of Mimosa. And the postmark of Bucksnort community was Dunnington, Tennessee, also a town that is no longer there. So Bucksnort is no longer there. Dunnington had a post office, a doctor's office, a general store, a blacksmith shop, and private boys and girls school called Springmount Academy, which was founded in 1850 and flourished and well patronized for many years into the 1800s. Once I-40 was built, the town was already on the decline, and with the interstate being right by and bypassing the town, it pretty much ended all existence of the town. The former buildings have since either burned down or succumbed to the elements. While the town is gone, there is still a Bucksnort Road that is the first dirt road on the left after leaving the interstate. The road leads to a bridge that crosses back over the interstate, where one of the last original buildings of the Bucksnort community is still standing, albeit in ruins. What is interesting is the town won't be forgotten, even though its history has, since the exit was officially named the Bucksnort exit, and will be noticed for its peculiarity by the east and west travelers in Tennessee on the I-40. And the Bucksnort's fame and legend is international, and it led a guy from the Netherlands to come make a pilgrimage to Bucksnort, and he actually made a video about it that you can find on YouTube. And the current businesses that exist at the exit consist of a gas station and a hotel. The restaurant at the hotel, Rudy's, has closed in the past few years. There is currently a trail horse riding outfit nearby, Bucksnort Trail Ride, and Bucksnort Trout Ranch. There was also a pinball museum nearby in Only, as in O-N-L-Y, Only. So there's an Only in Tennessee, along with a Mimosa and a Bucksnort. Very interesting town places in Tennessee here, but it is since closed as well. This is great. A state prison was built in 1971 near Only, Tennessee, with a very nondescript name for a prison, Turney Center Industrial Complex. I'm reading this from the site. There was also an interesting story of a couple stranded in Bucksnort due to a car breakdown. The story ended up reconnecting a family to their ancestors and lost graves, and that one was sort of like, oh, I gotta go find this story. Connecting with ancestors and lost graves. Genealogy guru here. Genealogy nut here. So check out the story and make sure you read the comments. Okay, so now I've got to go find the story because they didn't have it in here. So I'm going to have to go find that story and read that. But it was just sort of like, Bucksnort? where do they come up with these names? It was like, what did I have? Drapery and, what were the other ones? I can't remember the ones that we had in California. In California and Oregon. That we had some ones on those trips last August. So if you go back and watch the Facebook Lives from when we were towards the end of August when we were doing Oregon and California, there's some stories in there about some of. I remember one of them was drapery, or was it curtain? I think there might have been a curtain and a drapery. Oh, no, I can't remember. Was it drapery or was it curtain? Can't remember. And then there was Weed, California, which was actually named after a person whose last name was Weed. So it's been a very interesting day learning these new fun things. And then I got here, got everything set up, like I said, came back, got on to the Zoom with the person I had to connect with today, and we had a great conversation and everything else. And so now it's going to just be kick back, relax for the rest of the day, have some food. I haven't had much. I've had a couple of protein bars, a protein shake, and that's pretty much it for the day. So I'm actually going to go make myself some dinner. I did get some chicken thighs so I could cook them up in the Instapot, but I'm probably going to do them tomorrow because I just don't have the energy right now. So I'll do that for tomorrow. But I do have some cold turkey that I'll go and have with some broccoli sauce. I love broccoli sauce. Coleslaw is okay, but broccoli sauce is even better because it's made with broccoli instead of cabbage. And I love broccoli sauce. And so I might go have some of that with some cold turkey. And that's pretty much it. So hope you all have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We are now in, and I've got a note here to look up Hurricane Mills. So tomorrow night I will tell you the story about Hurricane Mills, how it got its name, the story behind it, if there is one. So I'll let you know tomorrow night about Hurricane Mills and why it's called that. But for now, it's not too bad. The traffic noise is not too bad from the I-40. It's louder down by the dog park. But when we came in, there was a guy, and I'll put the pictures up later, but there was a guy who was doing, and I showed it on the live that I did from the dog park, but there's a tree stump, tall tree stump down there, and there was a guy that was actually carving the initials for the campground into the thing with a chainsaw, and he had some carvings by his trailer there all set up that you could go purchase if you wanted to for stuff that he had carved out of wood with his chainsaw. And I'm sort of like thinking, you get a lot of RVers come here. RVers don't have a lot of room, and those things have been carved out of wood, which can be weighty, and we've got to watch our weight. We have to watch our weight when we're in the RVs and stuff. So there's only so much we can carry. And but he had some great looking sculptures and stuff down there that he had done with the chainsaw and the wood and everything else. They were really cool. It was sort of like, man, if only I wasn't in an RV, but I am. So I am being very good about making sure I don't overstock things. My second Walmart I have been to in Tennessee. I've only been to 2 Walmarts in Tennessee, but the second one I have been to that actually had RV toilet paper on the shelves, well stocked. So they went down to like the last 2 or 3 packets. They had a lot of packets there because normally they have like 4 shelves full, and they probably had toilet paper on all 4 shelves, and there was dents in it on all 4 shelves. But and that was the 8 packs, not the 4 packs. So it was kind of interesting that that's the second Walmart I've been to in Tennessee where there's actually RV toilet paper on the shelves in the RV section, and you didn't have to go somewhere else to find it or ask for it. So it was kind of cool. They had a lot of disinfectant products available. They still didn't have any disinfectant wipes, which I still have some of those left, but I would have liked another container. But yeah, they had bottles of Clorox, Pine Sol, all of those things available, the squirty cleaners, the big large gallon bottles of the stuff. And yeah, so there's they didn't have a lot of hand towels though. I'm down to my last 2 rolls, so I grabbed a 4-pack because that was the biggest that they had, and it was just the generic brand because that was all they had. But otherwise the other shelves were empty. So it seems like paper towels are not back in stock yet, but there was plenty of regular toilet paper on the paper product shelves today, but just not a lot of paper towels. So but I managed to find a 4-pack, so we're good. That'll last me for a while. But anyway, that's it from me for today. Tune in tomorrow morning for your challenges of the day, and tomorrow evening to find out the history of Hurricane Mills. Until then, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Hei konera.